Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to ARMA League 2020. Hanchans, I believe, 23, 24, and 25. As a quick reminder of the rules, we are playing with Aka Ari, Tobinashi, or no bankruptcy, Tamahane on, Kiriage Manga, no board of draws, 1030 Uma, and with an Oka, 25k start, 30k return. I'm joined by the lovely SPT.
Hello, hello, welcome back.
And the lovely Muller.
Good evening. Thank you.
Hopefully your mic just doesn't suddenly cut off this time.
Let's hope for the best.
I mean, on the bright side, last stream it happened right at the end.
Yeah, it definitely did happen at the important time of it happening. We will have a quick look at the scores before we delve properly into the games. So these are the current standings as of the start of the day. We do have Flame Curse Evil Eye in first place, AUNSW Wanderers in second, Tile Dreaming in third, Trombonomi in fourth, The Last Weiss Players in fifth, Zombini Chiteridus in sixth, Doras for Losers in seventh, Notice Me Tenpai in eighth, The Powerpuff Boys in ninth, and Khan for Fun in 10th place. So I'm excited. How about you guys? Yeah, we feeling that good day?
I think we need a balance patch.
Yeah, this grouping is starting to. I swear I've been saying these four teams have been in the top four for the past 3 weeks. So
well, like
You might
I
even
know.
say that these top 4 teams might just be the most skilled out of all 10 teams.
We might, but plenty of weeks to be had. So we'll have to see if your claim holds true or not.
It's a lot of New South Wales up there, isn't there?
Yes, actually,
Funny coincidence, isn't it?
Well, wait. I haven't been unleashed yet. I've only had 2 Hanchans, so you better hold that smack talk for a little bit later. But yeah, we do have Hanchans firing. We will be watching, at least for the first game, the left side. So we'll be watching Muginra, Poseidon. Is this Saber?
Yeah, it'd be Saber.
Okay, Saber and Gwills. I should probably update that on the text, but let me bring up the spectate on the client. Alright, just give me a second. There we go. And I will update the text on the side so that we can have a proper look at things.
Oh, it's an Adelaide showdown. This isn't going to be good for our standing.
Just tell the Adelaide people to bully the other players then.
Bully the other players, I see. Is that the plan?
Exactly. Like, what's a bit of interstate collusion?
Interstate? This would just be,
Wait, no, that's
I know.
intrastate, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry about this. I'm just updating the text on the stream so that they can have a bit of an updated look at how people are going, but also know that my keyboard is incredibly loud and annoying, so I try to mute my mic whenever I'm typing. Alright. So I am updated on my end. Oh yes, thank you. There we go. So, we are off to the races. In the east seat we have Poseidon, in the south seat we have McGinra, in the west seat we have Gwills, and in the north seat we have Saber. So, Dora is the east, and we already have a pair of Dora here from Gwills. So, already a potential Mangan here from our west player.
Unfortunately, Saber also has a pair of the Dora, so it's muchy.
Yes. So it will be end up being a competition of who can keep their hand closed and have Yaku outside of having to pawn the Dora. It'd be very awkward if either Saber or Gwills end up opening their hand with no Yaku except for, the east. First, Hatsu is skipped here for Poseidon, not wanting to go for a 2,900 point hand, but maybe hoping for something a bit more optimistic or hoping for the other shapes. Aka 5-pin draw for McGinra puts them into Tenpai for each Aka 6-9, so very powerful.
Interestingly, we see there's Yucca high pairs around for everyone, but McGinra, doesn't quite need it, as you said, has that reach Dora for 200 here, so that's it's going to be a nice start if he can convert.
Wonder how much the other players will push into this, considering that Gwills and Saber, from their perspectives, do have fairly valuable hands, but Poseidon's hand is not got a great amount of value associated with it. But it is the dealer, so, we'll have to see. Second Hatsu comes out here, so Poseidon's offered the option. Do they decide
Knowing
to take
Poseidon here, I'd be surprised if he takes it. And
he does take
oh,
it.
he does. Burned a fair amount of time. Looking to, push in and make use of his dealership here. Does have an outside Sunshocky chance if he manages to convert it that way, but unlikely. He's probably just going to try to finish off his hand and get another dealership.
Pon and then Chi putting them into Ishanten for Hatsudora 1.
Headless.
Ipeiko
The
gain.
Saber seems to be moving towards Shitotsu.
Unfortunately, the 6-0 does come out from Gwills' hand, dealing into reach Aka. Any Ura? No Ura, so 2,600 points. Moving us to East 2. Oh gosh, what are we looking at?
Oh my. Wait a minute.
Hold on a second. So, our perspective here, Poseidon, does have the East pair, South pair, Haku pair. Going in potentially multiple directions. Could be Honitsu, could be just be Yaku Yaku Aka.
Could be that Toy Dash you've been asking for.
This does clear the conditions for a Toy Dash. He's got 4 pairs in the early round, 3 of which are easy to pun, so it could actually go that way.
Unfortunately, McGinra's, a bit fast. It does get into Tenpai for reach Aka again, waiting for the Penchan 3-man wait.
Does also lock in a free-so, so Poseidon might have a little bit of trouble grabbing the last free-so here. We do see it's in Saber's hand, but with that early of a reach, it might be a little bit difficult as of right now to cut it. East Pon, he's going in.
He is going in.
He's going in, lads.
He is. West is also a little bit vulnerable. Not vulnerable because it is a safer looking tile for the current stage of the game. But from this perspective, so yeah, Poseidon seems to just be digging in on the hand, wanting to get that 39. Oh, is it 3,900? Am I miscounting? 3,900 if it's a Kanchan Ron, and like 1,300, 2,600 if it's a Sumo. Okay, never mind.
He's going.
Now it's a 5,200.
He's going.
So Poseidon does get into Tenpai, waiting for the Kanchan 6-man. Yaku Aka for 5,200 points. Where are the 6?
On the outside, this looks like a Yakuman potential.
Oh my gosh. I mean, we'll have to see. I don't imagine Poseidon has
South is already dead. So
yeah, South are dead.
No sure sushi.
Tatsu is cut, leaving out that, Daisang and it's just not possible. It does draw the taunt. Do you decide to cut it or can it?
Suiso looks pretty unlikely now as well.
Does decide to cut the taunt, not wanting to give McGinra any extra Dora. Where are all of these? Okay, so we have two 6-mans and one 3-man left in the wall. Who will get it first? Who will get it first? 4 1-pins from Grills. Now, oh wait, hold on a sec. Is Poseidon on Khan for fun, or is that Mugenra?
Poseidon is indeed Khan for fun.
Well, hey, hold on a second there, because he did get offered the Khan, the 4th Khan, and didn't Khan it. I'm very, very disappointed. Does
want a
end up
refund.
sumoing the 6th
What a
month.
I'll give him a talking to.
Does end up summing the 6th month for Ton Haku Aka, 1,300, 200, 600 points, moving us along to East 3. The man are lightning fast. So yes, Mala, hopefully, so do you agree? Are you angry a team would take the name Khan for fun and not indeed Khan for fun?
It's false advertising, is what it is.
I mean, yes. Dora here for Poseidon.
2 Dora here, Chanta potential, maybe Sanjoku. It's still, a bit up in the air.
I mean, remember that doghouse analogy I used to use?
Yes.
Yeah, this Sanchoku is quite a doghouse away.
Non-cut does get Pon, so indeed going for that Chanta Dora 3, Ishan10 waiting for the 3-pin Alder 3 so to get to Tenpai. So yeah, Mullo, in this situation, you look at your I don't know which player. Let's say you're Gwills here in the DLC. You look at the person opposite you and you see South Pon and a bunch of mid tiles cut. So you know it's a Chanta-ish push. Are you trying to outpace them? Are you trying not to feed any maybe terminal pawns? What's your general thought process here?
Yeah, generally Chanta is actually not that fast, so I wouldn't be too worried about trying to outspeed them, particularly as Gwills has already reached Tenpai on his own.
Tenpai for the 4-pin. However, we do see 2 4-pins out on the pond and 1 4-pin in Saber's hand. Nine so cut over the east. Perhaps Poseidon thinking that 9 so does have a higher deal-in rate. However, if East deals in, it deals in much heavier, especially to the dealer. So wanting to avoid that issue temporarily, but does choose to cut the East now. Probably just avoiding it for the putts. Let's see. That's the last 4 pins. Unfortunately, all of the 4 pins are gone. It's just a matter of if Poseidon chooses to fold this Chanta Dora 3 or not.
There's a lot of Muns here in beginner's hand, but no obvious path towards that Honitsu line, unfortunately. If anything, his line now is Shinitsu, but having to, push a couple of those tiles, a couple of those middle bamboo tiles might be a little bit of an ask here. Ooh, 70.
I think even if Poseidon wanted to fold, he doesn't have many safe tiles, so he's kind of got no choice but to push forward. And with Manga and Ishanten, that's enough to be aggressive here anyway.
To a certain point, no? Like, after a while, you start knocking out Suji, you get to a point where, like, your deal-in becomes very high, cutting live tiles. Even if it's an Ishanten, is an Ishanten. Oh, okay. I've
But we're Tenpai. We're Tenpai.
Now we're Tenpai. So, Poseidon has drawn the 3-pin. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Does draw the 3-pin, gets into Tenpai for Chanta Dora-san, and does sumo the 3-so, praise be, the next turn. Sumoing for 2,000, 4,000 points. Moving us along to East 4. Man, a very, very fast. Oh my god, what a draw.
That, yeah, it doesn't get much better than that. Filling out probably one of the more difficult Hanchans in your hand and filling it out with the best tile possible to do so with. Yeah. I don't like to talk about it, but he's definitely riding the flow tonight.
Gotta embrace the flow theory at this
I've
point.
spent way too much time around you guys.
Wait,
7-pin
what do
draw
you mean by
here
you
for
guys?
McGinley.
Don't throw Muller down here. Muller has never supported our flow statements.
Ow.
It's just me. It's just me.
It's
I'm
all
willing to take
you.
responsibility. But like
It's
flow is
all
real.
you, my dude.
Flow is real. I'm gonna go on the record and say flow is real.
7-man Chi here for G Wills. Confirms a Dora in his hand, looking for a probably like 10 now Dora-ish hand. How do you feel about going for this type of hand when you're behind Muller? Do you feel like it's a little bit early to be going for this type of hand, or do you think because his hand is quite trash, otherwise it might be a little it might actually be a good idea to call here?
Well, Tiny Adora is worth only 2,000 points, and he is about 4,000 points behind, so he needs something a bit bigger than that. His hand's not going to be enough to go up a placement, so it's a bit of a waste, I think.
We do see a 2-man pawn here for McGinra. Probably, would you say he's probably looking to match the pace of G Wills here, seeing his Shimachars cold kind of makes him want to call as well?
Yeah, definitely. Matching pace here is a good idea, and particularly because his rival in placing is the dealer as well, so he gets to kill two birds with one stone if he manages to flow this round away.
Ishanten for Saber here. Bit of an awkward Ishanten, but we'll end up waiting for a Dora. Well, we'll end up either having a Dora or waiting for a Dora, so it'll be decent value, especially as dealer.
No. Ooh, another call.
Oh, nice. Ooh.
Okay, now which weight do you take? Both for one cuts.
Both are one cuts.
Probably the
6.
Yeah. Does choose to take the Hanchans 6 weight, electing not to have to wait for the Dora Suji on this. Oh, sorry, not even two.
Oh my.
Cards. Oh wait. Oh my god.
Where'd that come from?
Wait, hold on a second.
My dude.
Wait.
My dude.
I think that was a misclick because the 6-0 is right next to the North pair.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I think that's the only thing that makes the most sense here, because 6-0 did come out of a 4-5 6-0, so it doesn't make sense as a progression, but it was right next to an honor pair. Hopefully we get to interview Poseidon and ask him personally. But unfortunately that does happen.
SBT, do you know if Poseidon uses the mobile app or
I believe they are on PC, so I'm going to hope that was just a misclick and wasn't a crucial error.
Interesting.
Judgmental noises coming from Muller right now.
Well, if he used the mobile app, I would have been a bit more understanding. But that misclick was pretty catastrophic.
Just a little bit.
Leave my players alone. They're trying their best.
Okay.
Still in the lead, man.
I guess. All right. So what do we have here? We have
I agree with that.
We have a Green Dragon Pawn from Saber, putting them in 2 Shanten. Yes, 2 Shanten for just Tatsunami. Hakus are out, so it does sort of indicate it'll be a cheaper round. So I'm not trying to describe it. It's like when a board state can just limit the hand values. However, with 3 Akadoras available, you can't always rely on seeing 2 on a Dora and thinking the round is cheap. 7-star draw from Poseidon puts him into Ishanten for reach draw 1.
He's definitely taken this hand in a little bit of an awkward way, deciding to cut the early 9-7 pin here. Pretty much confirms that he has to use the 8 pin as a pair in some way.
Aka 5 draw here for Gwills puts him into Ishanten for Chitoi Dora. Maybe even Roundpaker if we really like squint at it and be optimistic.
Yeah, I see it. I
Yeah.
see it.
I mean, it's not possible. Draw a 3-so, cut the 2-man, draw
Yeah,
another
it's
3-so.
not. Yeah, it's
Or
not actually that far away.
yeah, so
That far away in free specific titles.
yes. Well, other than that, all players still seeming just trying to get their hand somewhere. McGinn was also in Ishan 10 for
Is this Tempai?
no, this is Ishan
No,
10.
not quite.
Oh, okay, interesting. So-
Okay.
9-pin is dead, so that 7-8 run man is not as strong as it looks.
Hmm.
I was thinking more in Gwills' position. They had a choice of Dam.
The instant chase.
The instant
Free
chase.
He's free 10.
Indeed
Oh,
he
yeah,
is.
you're right. He is free 10.
Dropped an early free pin here.
So we have a free 10, 3-6 pin, but only can win. There's only 6 pins left in the wall for McGinra. And we have a Cheetoy waiting for a 4-man. Now, something I wanted to ask about was, what do you think about Dharma for Gwills' position and, see if you can snag that 3 or 6er for Pinfu E-Paker or, round Paker. Tempai here for Poseidon does choose the Dharma. Pinfu 6. Sorry. For Pinfu Itsu Dora 1. 6 pin does.
Unfortunately, it's a bit too late if you wanted to try and switch out to a Pinfu type of hand.
So, does end up with Ryukyoku, Poseidon, Gwills, and Muginra in Tempai. And we move on to South 1 with 2,000, 2 Richu sticks in the middle, and 2 Humper. So that nice juicy bonus. I imagine players will be trying to play a bit fast if they can. Notable from Poseidon's Dora first turn Dora cut. So choosing to want to just go straight line Tanya rather than floating around with, say, a 2-so cut or even like a 9-pin cut.
Ooh. East Cole here. Does McGinra know it's South round? Unless he's going. What are you going for, sir?
Is a bit far.
What are you going for? We will wait and see where this hand goes for McGinra. Meanwhile, we do see the actual Yokohai pair in Saber's hand here. Now, what do you think? Is Saber going to try to go fast with this, abysmal hand, or is he going to play a little bit more standard and hope to draw well?
I think this is a good hand to go fast with. He's got a lot of pairs, so he can pawn his way to Tempai pretty quickly.
Oh,
2-man
draw.
That's actually a very nice draw.
Yeah, puts them into Ishan 10. Oh, sorry, Tushan 10. No, Ishan 10. No. Sorry, I keep mixing my words. Tushan.
No, I think you're right.
Isn't it Tushan 10?
Yeah. There's 6 blocks there. That's why it looks confusing.
Yeah. Poseidon is in Ishan 10 for Cheetoy. However, it does have a Tanya out if they choose to have it. 5-so draw is amazing here. Especially Arca 5-so draw for Gwills. Puts them in like a really wide Ishan 10 at this point.
Yeah, that's kind of cheating.
258.
That's kind of cheating.
258, so 5-8 man. Yeah, that's a bit gross. 8-so pond here for Poseidon, choosing not to maintain, choosing not to go for the Cheetoy and maintain the Ishan 10 for Cheetoy, and instead going for Tanyao.
Interestingly, now he's also just Ishan 10 for Tanyao Dora. So this is an alright line, considering that there is an extra 2,600 in the middle. It also grabs him another dealership if he manages to convert here.
Come on, Poseidon, you're on Khan for fun. Come on. Come on!
Oh my!
Come on!
Don't
take that name if you're not going to Khan for fun.
Oh boy. Tempai here for G Wheels. 5-8 man. There's the 5-man.
He's got to cut 7-pin.
Ooh, well, I do.
4-pin.
Four pin's a little interesting here.
McGinra.
Pathways to 10 by now might be a little bit difficult for Poseidon.
Ooh.
McGinra, fortunate there with the 8 man rather. Reach appart's Pinfu Aka no Aura, so it's only a Mungun this time around.
I am of the belief that McGinra may not have noticed it was East round. It was no longer East round.
Yeah, probably.
That's alright, it happens. So, let's see. Moving us along to South 2. We have...
Pretty nice hand here for
Yeah,
Poseidon.
this is a very, very, very nice hand. Yeah, like 2 Shanten from Pin... Oh, okay, never mind.
So weirdly enough here, the South pair actually kind of restricts value in a way, but does decide to hold on to it here. Yucca High pair as well for G Wills, and a couple of Dora here for McGinra, and same on Saber's hand. This might actually be a pretty expensive hand, I think.
What would you guys do if you drew a 6-pin here?
For
Poseidon's hand. Oh, okay. Not relevant
Probably cut the 7.
Sorry, Mala, I interrupted you.
I'd probably cut the 7-man.
So you're not thinking about Cheetoy?
No, with shapes like this, Cheetoys... Oh, there's that symbol.
You gotta reach those, my dude!
So Poseidon did elect to skip the Ricci, and unfortunately, through skipping the Ricci, does miss out on the Reach Ipats Sumo Nan. But does net themselves a nice 500, 1,000 points, moving us along to South 3. Yeah, sorry, Mala, go on.
What was I saying? I forgot.
It was like you said you'd cut the 7-1.
Right, yeah. So with all those sequences, the tiles that you need for Cheetoy are, well, they would have been all in the middle, and they wouldn't be easy to pair. On top of that, sequences are just going to be a lot faster to reach tempo with. And as you saw, the Onatal Shampon is very strong final weight, so that makes it worth a lot more than Cheetoy, both in terms of speed and value.
That makes sense. Alright, so South 3, Dora is the 8-man. Tenpai for Saber. Waiting for a Kanchan 7-1 for Reach Dora 1. Sensei Tenpai is... Sensei? I don't know how to say it, sorry. But first Tenpai is very, very strong here. However, we do see 3 of the 7-mans being eaten up. But, I mean, 1 weight in the wall is all you need. Really, if you can draw it. Just have to see about how the other players react, especially for Gwills here on their dealer turn with a not terrible looking hand. Will they elect to play more aggressively into this or not? So far they haven't been given the option because they've just been drawing honor tiles. Tenpai here for McGinra, waiting for the 7-man. So we do have 2 7-man weights. McGinra for Reach Dora 2. And
we have head bump rules, don't we?
Yes, we do. So if the 7-man comes from Poseidon's hand, Muginra will win. And the 7-man comes from okay. We might actually see head bump in action soon.
Oh. Oh. I'm not nervous, you're nervous.
Oh, never mind. Does draw into the right Tenpai, waiting for a 5-8-man. So we have 3 Tenpais, 2 7-man weights, and 1 5-8-man weight. 5-8-man has how many? 1, 2, 3 left? 5 left in the wall? Oh, that's a heavy weight as we head into the 3rd row.
Yeah. There's the 8-man.
I'm quite worried for Poseidon.
I'm not worried. You're worried. Oh my god!
I got it! Yeah! sorry. You've come to the Australian stream where when things like that happen, it's incoherent screaming. So
It was going so well for Adelaide.
So Gwills does end up picking up the 7-pin, uncons the 7-pin, and does Rinshan Kaiho the 5... Was it the 5-man or the 8-man?
A 5-man.
5-man for Reach Rinshan Sumo Dora 1. So that does give Gwills a very, very nice lead going into South 3. Not a very secure lead with less than 10,000 points between Gwills and Poseidon, but, you know, you're not going to look at a lead and bite it. Ishan and for Poseidon, for Chitoy, however, does elect to turn it down and go for Toy Toy. Yes, Toy Toy, yep. So now Toy Toy, Ishan turn here. I really wanted Sanshoku Doko, but now it's impossible.
Oh boy. I'm still calming down from that last one.
I understand. 7-pin draw does put them into Tenpai, waiting for the 6-9-pin Nan. 5-pin does get pawned off here for Poseidon, putting Poseidon in Tenpai for Toy Toy Aka 1. So what do you think about this application? This is an application of Toy Toy Dash, is it not? For Poseidon's case?
Well, usually with the Toy Toy Dash, you try and have pairs that are easier to pawn rather than middle pairs like this. Especially if you get stuck in with 3 calls and nothing but middle tiles, it becomes very hard to defend.
So 9-pin does come out from Saber's hand and does end up with Gwills running off the 9-pin for Reach. No, but a nice 2,000 points as we go to South 3-2. So, look into the situation. What do you think, Mola? What's you got any hot takes? What do you reckon? A player like McGinra has to do by this stage.
I think McGinra's chances at winning are pretty slim. He could still get maybe Mungon some more and maybe something else in South 4 to bump him up to 3rd. But yeah, currently third is probably the best he can hope for.
So at this kind of point situation, do you adapt your goals? You sort of like, I'm probably not getting 1st, probably not getting 2nd. Let's just not get 4th.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially considering that going up 1 place is an extra 20k worth of points in UMA.
Yep, 20,000.
Yeah, around.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
that it is 20.
Yeah. We have a local one of the players in the league saying that the Severman is cursed because he was the person who couldn't get that Severman for the Junshan Ipeiko. And unfortunately, and so he's blaming the Severman for the woes. Ishantan here for Poseidon, a very pretty hand as well. But, I mean, if you can't get into Tenpai first, you get this pressure of having to deal with a Reach. So we have Reachy here for Gwills, for Reach Pinfu Dora 1, the Proletariat hand. So, okay, so, like, put yourself into McGinra's perspective. Dealer Reaches, you have a good hand. But you don't necessarily want to fight Dealer, and if Dealer just sumos, you get another chance to not go for last. So, like, what do you guys think in this perspective? Do you think you would be more willing to capitulate to the Dealer, let them just sumo and have their hand and not worry about it, or is this hand too premium?
For me personally, it definitely depends on not only the game state but the league state right now. For example, I'm currently in McGinra's position. My team is currently in 5th. I think. Yeah, fifth. There is first place opposite me. There is last place to the left of me, and third place to the right of me. I'd rather not deal in here, I think.
I think, given that his hand doesn't look too bad, if I was McGinra, I'd probably wait and see a bit. There's not many Suji that you can eliminate from Gwill's weight, so the chance of any individual Suji dealing in isn't too bad.
Do you have like a threshold personally that like you sort of like, oh, okay, past this amount of Suji, you know what, everything's a bit too dangerous. I don't think I can do it.
I don't have any hard numbers, but once you start getting past about 10 Suji that are dead, it's probably about time to start being a bit more careful, especially against a dealer reach. For a non-dealer, you could probably go up to about 12 or so. Of course, depending on the board state.
Especially with something, yeah, so like, I assume that number is flexible to, say, the amount of Dora that you see, so, you know, it's different from if you see, you know, no Dora on the board than if you see 5 Dora on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. The more Dora you can see, the less value, on average, an opponent's reach will have.
So how many weights are there left? One 1-pin and one 4-pin left? So it's still 2 left.
Oh, that 1-pin looks vulnerable when it does come out.
Unfortunately, 1-pin does come out from Poseidon's hand, dealing into reach pin for Dora. No Ura. So no up to Mangan, but a nice 5800 chunk from Poseidon's hand, and we'll just stack on Will's lead at this point.
And not an old too bad starting hand either. Has, you know, completed shape in a 5-6-7 pin and a ready shape in the 7-8 pin. So that 4-man draw is also pretty good for him.
So you know how I jinx this game by saying, you know, it's going very quickly?
Yeah.
I'm definitely biting my words for this dealer repeat session that we have for Gwills here. Really just taking the game by the horns. And it can sort of lead to a cascading effect, kind of not, where players... So it's not like a flow thing where, you know, like, you know, if you're winning a lot, that you have a lot of flow and none of that nonsense. But something more to the lines of, as you win more, players around you can maybe have to start playing a bit slower because first place is out of reach. So they may not be incentivized to fully push their hands. And that is why you can have streaks, because the dealer can just continue to play efficiently and fast, while the other players may have to either play slower to be a bit safer, or even just have to like prep their hands in extremely aggressive positions in order to be able to get positions that they want. This is speculative, of course. Like, I'm happy to hear if...
Yeah, that's absolutely true. As first place, the bigger your lead, the more the bigger the advantage you have, and it makes it very difficult for the other players to justify pushing against you if you're the first to tempai.
So that's sort of why you can have people who just take, like, you know, win multiple hands in a row, even though their hand may just look average. It's, you know, just the habit of what you've got. Tempai here for Saber. Very scary Tempai. Tanyao Dora 3. Tanyao Dora 4. Sorry, so Sumo will make it a Hanuman. And if Saber can pick up a 7, so if Saber can pick up a 4-man, it suddenly becomes Tanyao Dora 4 Sanshoku. So it would be a Tsumo'd Baiman. Very, 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 very scary. Now the big question is, well, Gwills doesn't look like they're in any position to cut the 7 pins. I say that, but if they draw a 5 or 8 pin, it's there is a chance it does come out. So, you know, I may be eating my words fairly soon. Ishan 10 for Gwills. Tempai here for Muginra. Oh! Alright, things went from very slow to very fast very quickly.
from Grill's point of view, he's got nothing to worry about. His lead is big enough that he doesn't need
Unfortunately does deal into the Iphat's reach. Iphat's Pinfu Tanyao Dora Dora Oyahana Inpachi. And essentially sends McGinra to the Shadow Realm.
It's time to start panicking.
Muginra needs a Yakuman to make it back to third.
Yeah. I think at this point, there is an argument even to loop from playing greedy to playing just EV. If you feel like your position is almost guaranteed, you might as well play for what you think is the higher expected value. That kind of hurt me. I'm not gonna lie. I saw that deal and it kind of hurt my soul a little bit.
Yeah. Now is time to start thinking about stemming the bleeding.
No, it seems like McKindra is very determined to just push on through. Does Chi the 789 Mon? Most likely going for Shinitsu.
Yeah. That would get him back to a positive place. So it's a start. It's definitely a start.
All right. Okay. We have potential Itsu on our left here from Saber. But generally speaking, it is Ishan 10 for Reach Dora 1. Can maybe upgrade to Pinfu if they can connect off the 4-man or the 6-pin block. Or even something like a 2-so block, really. And they can draw a 7-pin, so we'll have to see what happens. Does like to cut the 4-man. And this is sort of what we mean in terms of when you have a dominant first place, you have players who may take less efficient tiles to try and be a little bit safer. So, like you can see that for Saber, 4-man is definitely safer, but the lead is so insurmountable that they value the safety in the honor pair rather than efficiency at this point. I think that's about as clear as you get it.
It's interesting that Muginra didn't call pawn on the Chun.
I feel like if you set your hand up in a way like this, you kind of have to take that pawn. Maybe still hoping onto the hope that he can convert into a Chinitsu line here, I think.
Tenpai for Poseidon.
It could be because he didn't have
not Tenpai, sorry. Ishan 10 for Poseidon.
Maybe. 3-man here. Doesn't take the Chi either.
Interesting. Five-pin offered here to Poseidon. Does it like to cut the 9-pin? Tenpai here. Sorry, not Poseidon. I was on my bad.
Saber.
Tenpai here for Poseidon. Picks up the upper 5-man, which is really nice. Gets them into Reach Pinfu Dora 1 shape.
Chi for McGinra.
Oh god. Oh, okay. Sorry. There was a very slight chance that Saber Oikake's here for but yeah, no, sorry, I'm interrupting you, SPD. Go on.
No, that's it. Just Tenpai for McGinra.
Yep, 2-5-man, Honet Tsunami. Oh god. Okay, where are all these? Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, okay, it does get it.
Now, do you take the win here?
I think you have to.
Yeah.
So it does take the Honitsu Nomi win. So gaining that 500 1000 plus the 4 repeats plus the 1 Reiki stick in the middle. Moving us to South 4. So Quills is very out of range for anyone who isn't, say, Saber, who can go on an endless Renchan. There was a maybe Yakuman chance for Poseidon here, but it kind of evaporated on the pay drop. Not to say I'm supporting a Yakuman push, but if you're wanting to Yak 10 Gwills, you probably want to keep the pay. Big if, of course.
It's probably just content securing second here. Not I would say not in the position where you need to make big plays right now, but you're considering Poseidon's actual like team placement. Now's a good time to start looking towards big plays. But you've mentioned before, Gwills is just way too out of reach here.
Mm.
Yeah, and on the other hand, Saber is very close behind, so he does not want to give Saber a chance to catch up.
Definitely.
Yep, so it's an early Tempai here for Gwills. Does not want to take the Ricci for fear of risking their position, perhaps. Although I feel like if you don't want to take the Ricci, you probably want to keep that 7 man. So you can pawn Chun and get a nice 3-sided Tempai. But electing to keep their option to just sumo the 5-pin. Three-so draw. Very nice 3-so draw.
Yeah, it's a good advancement, but
I imagine this position
kind of just a band-aid at this point.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I don't think you really get the luxury of choice when you're in McGinnis' position.
No, definitely not.
So, just a nice sumo plus Ura might, send you to just plus 12,000, which would be very nice. Oh, there is an outside Sancho, or there was an outside Sancho chance if they chose to keep the 4-pin. But I'm using outside extremely liberally, and from our perspective as well, the 3-pin is dead. So
another call puts Poseidon into Ishan 10 here. Does have Pon 10 potential as well. So good shape, but a couple of those weights are eaten up by Saber with those 3 pins there.
Wondering what do you do in this position, really? As Saber, I imagine you might even just you see your Shimocha calling so often. Oh wait, hold on a second. That's a 5-man fold here from our. Oh, was that a fold from McGinra?
Not. Well, probably, but even so.
Maybe they're trying to left turn into Chinitsu, although with about 6 draws left, it seems very difficult. I guess we'll find out here. No, I think it's just a fold then, if they're not taking the Forso. Yeah. They seem to just be out of the hand. Tempai here for Gwills. Does end up drawing the 9-pin to go for a 9-pin Chun sharp on Machi. Chun is completely live in the wall, and there's also one 9-pin in the wall. This is an incredibly good weight.
This probably seals the deal here. I don't really see it going any other way unless I don't know, like Saber would need a consecutive couple miracle draws to even Tempai here.
Okay, that's part 1.
That's 1.
That's part 1. You just gotta find out part 2.
To be fair, they're not exactly miracle draws, I guess. He does have 2 opportunities, considering his Kamicha is actually in reach here. That's not what he needs. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, what the?
Yeah, no, it's over. Unfortunately, does have to deal with Chun, so reach Chun, Dora 1. Any Ura? No Ura, but a nice 5,200 points.
Yeah.
Ending the Hanchan with Gwills in first place. So we have Gwills in first, Poseidon in second, Saber in third, and Muginra in last place. Do we have Gwills here for the interview?
I am working on it.
Yes, I will bring up the log. But Muller, did you find anything in that Hanchan that you felt like you wanted to bring up with our local Gwills?
Gwills seem to be playing pretty solidly. I think most of the questions I had were more for the other players, really.
So yeah, fair enough. I feel like it's just like very solid, sort of just build your hand very normally, reach it, and then when you win kind of thing. I do actually have a question about the South 4 in terms of how they decided to build their hand, but I guess we'll have to wait until or if they get in here. But yeah, oh my gosh, look at this history. It's like 8,000, 12,000, 2,000, 5,800, 18,000, 5,200. just
Utter
taking it.
dominance.
Just utter and complete dominance. Hello, Gwills. Congratulations on your win.
Hello, thanks. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, cool.
So it just felt like a very solid Hanchan from you. I feel like you just you played efficiently, and then you got into Tenpai, and then you reached it. Very your local mahjong. I had personally at least I had a question about your South 4. So you got into an early Tenpai here, right? I'm on the Discord stream if you can have a look at it so you can sort of see what I mean.
Yes, yep.
Yes, yep. And then you sort of got offered this option of the 7-man. Was there any consideration in cutting, say, a 9-pin and a 4-pin, seeing if you can pawn the chun and have like a 3-sided weight? Or did you feel like you wanted to keep the potential to just sumo it and be like, well, it's over?
I did want to keep the Tenpai, and I could potentially drop the 4-pin. I think I have a bias towards keeping the tiles I already have, and that's something I'm working on.
Okay.
But definitely, I just kept drawing like more 7s and 6s and 9s after that. Like it was just relentless.
I think the 9s also had a likelihood of coming out because you do see 4 8-man, so 9-man is very hard to use or it all in the wall. But yep, fair enough. It was more of a curiosity that I had personally. Also, how did you feel after getting that nice Ipatsu run off of your left player?
That was terrific. That was so. I was so happy with how so many things went in that game. I feel as though in East I made a lot of mistakes and got punished for them, and then in South the Mahjong gods just granted me ridiculous luck. Like, I think I did poorly early on because of my own failings, and then I did tremendously well later on for no reason.
No, I mean, at least on the desk, we didn't see anything that stuck out in mind. Lots of just very nice, efficient cuts. So, I would say it's to your credit that you got these wins. Although this, I will say, a single, any empathy, any sympathy for your Kamicha here, dealing this 6-pin right into your hand, or no mercy kind of game.
I mean, some sympathy. Like that's rough. I think I reached the turn like immediately after him, right?
Yes.
And then like it just came around and worked out for me. And that was the Dora as well. Yeah. Oh man, that's really rough.
Let's talk about that Rinshan hand. Now, obviously,
that was my favorite hand. That was when it went from like I think before that I was in last. Or maybe this wasn't
you were standing pretty well.
Okay, I was already doing well, or doing reasonably, I suppose.
So was this, in this situation, did you look at the hand and think, okay, this is my fastest path to Tenpai, I'm going to take it like this? Did you ever think about whether or not you actually had that Rinshan potential, or did you just suddenly find, oh wait, no, I can Kun here and maybe get an extra tile?
I wasn't really thinking about Kunning. At this point, I was a bit worried about the reach on the table, so I just wanted to throw out the 5, which I knew was safe. I was worried when I got that 2 because I could potentially end up in Furi 10 by throwing the 1 earlier.
But you ended up
so I was worried about that, but just that was a risky, in my opinion. That 4-man was pretty risky. But I don't know, it just worked out. I think I got the 8 or something, and the 7 sword.
Yeah. And interestingly enough, you drew the 1-so later on, and then that 1-so actually puts you in the best Tenpai possible, because any other Tenpai would have involved probably cutting the 7-man, which deals into your Shimocha here.
Yeah,
so,
really.
Actually quite fortunate in this scenario.
Wow. Yeah,
On a line.
It's their fault for waiting for the 7-man. Never wait on the 7-man.
Curse.
But yeah, overall though, congrats on your win. A very dominating win as well. I can't think of anyone that's got a higher score than this, not off the top of my head at least.
I felt as though it really I felt as though I really twisted the knife by somehow winning South 4 as well.
I had entertainment because I don't know if I don't know if you checked the replay or not, but your weight was extremely like alive. You had 3 weights left for a Sharpon, which is incredibly disgusting.
It was disgusting.
But hey, you know what? No game of sympathy. Just just destroy everybody, I guess.
That's what they do to me.
All right. Well, congrats on your win. Hopefully, we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
All right, and so that is the first Hanchan for the evening. Is the other Hanchan done?
It is indeed done.
Yes.
It actually finished up first.
Oh, okay. All right, so then we're going to take a small break, so that we can let the Hanchans, so that we can just let the other Hanchans start up, and we won't have any 10-minute awkward silence. Not that we've ever had that on the stream before.
No, of course not. Especially with you here, Jay. You're always very entertaining the stream during the downtime.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys in about 10 minutes. Until then, yes. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, let me close this. Yes, so we have our second Hanchan starting in the next minute or so. We do have Dr. Docs in the east seat, Rariel in the south seat, No Visa in the west seat, and Miku39 in the north seat. On the left of your screen, you will see the team's current scores. Not that it affects too much because, again, we still have plenty of Mahjong to be played, so no real score sniping anytime soon. But it is, there if you can use the information, I suppose.
Well, in some ways, it might start affecting play of a couple plays here and there. Maybe not in the middle of the pack, but at the top of the pack and the bottom of the pack, it might start influencing on how aggressive or how defensive you may start playing, depending on your team's strategy. Loading into the game now, we see a Dora cut from Dr. Dots. Now, this might be a little iffy.
It's a very hot take, but oh god, that's a very nice draw.
Sunshoku Doko Haku.
Ooh, all right. What do you guys think this is? 8-pin, 1-pin, then 8-pin.
Sunshoku Doko. On the nines.
You're gonna need to get those other 9-mans though.
I mean, there's still 2 in the. Oh no, there's not. Okay, it's over. The dream's over.
The dream is dead.
The dream is over.
9-pin. Oh wow, he really is committing to the Sanchoku
He's
Doko.
actually going.
Oh my
I was
God.
joking. I was joking.
It's either Sanchoku Doko or Honro Toy Haku.
If he was going for that Honro Toba, that 1-pin would have been great to have. You know, or an old. Definitely progressing towards some kind of Chanta line here. So, you know, might actually be able to redeem this hand.
What a disaster!
My dude. Moving on, however.
Sorry, I'm
Rariel
already
with a
like trying to recover from this 100. I'm not sure what's happening.
Rariel with a pretty nice hand here.
Ishan 10 for Tanpin Aka.
Tanpin Aka would be a very nice way to start the game here. Khan for fun again does not take the cards.
If you're gonna take the name Khan for fun, you need to Khan for fun. Come on.
Ishan 10,
An
however.
open hand. He might as well have opened up just a little more.
Okay. So yes.
Ishan 10, however, now 7-9 so pay for 10 pipe chances. Unfortunately, incorporating a Dora is basically out of reach here. 3 of the 3 pins out, would have to draw another 1 pin and end up 3-10 in some way or another, maybe. Fast hand from Visa, it looks like here.
Ooh, given the option now.
There's only 1 3-pin left though.
He does take it.
I like to take it.
Don't draw the 7-9. Don't draw the 7-9. Don't draw the 7-9.
Tenpai for no visa. Oh, Tenpai for oh god. Tenpai for no visa. Kanchan 6-man wait for Tanyao Aka 1.
Weight switch possibility. It does take the weight switch. 3-man, 5-man. Can switch even further later on into like Kanchan 4-man, but Kanchan 4-man would be a out there possibility here.
I think
especially
it's just
because
keeping the option of like drawing a 4-man and having a 2-sided weight, maybe if they can get it. Also, like probably a minor desire to sumo the Aka 5-man.
Yeah, definitely.
This hand from Dr. Doctor is actually really scary. What, Chanta Haku Dora 1? But this is like 60 fu, right? It's like 50 fu at least, but I think it's 60.
The interesting point to bring up here is that the way he's opened is that he's directly threatening something, but from the outside you can't actually see what he's threatening. Honetsu seems to be unlikely, with a lot of Muns and the way he's cut during the early game. The way you kind of have to rationalize it is that it's probably some kind of shunter or like even like a concealed yucca high somewhere in there. The scary point is that there's no way to pinpoint exactly what his weight is from here. So other than it's probably a 3, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2 somewhere in that range. Yeah, defense.
6-man draw for no visa. Oh god, my soul hurts. Okay, Richie here does deal in on the 4-so, unfortunately. Dealing in to Tanyao Aka1 for 2,000 points, moving us along to East 2.
Hey, more honors.
Alright, so... Alright, I need to breathe and deconstruct all the hands. So, this hand looks both a lot prettier and not pretty at all than it is. So, there is a few chances for like Chanta, maybe Hanetsu, but the fact that all of the win paired up are guest wins makes the hand a lot harder to use.
Haku Anko here for no visa. Could move towards a Honetsu here, doesn't decide to go that way, likes his 2-3 pin shape better.
Miku's setting up his Shanten now.
None Anko as well for Dr. Docs here. So lots of Ankos and lots of progression here and there. Thinking Muller's drawn my attention to it. I'm thinking I like Miku's hand the best here. Does have, decent amount of value in there. Best draw for him right now would be that 4-man, I believe. 4-man would be the best right now.
You're telling me if you draw the 5-8 pin, you don't praise the Aka 5 and get the gut shot way?
I don't believe in that occult theory.
I mean, rather than keeping the Agadora, you might as well take pin fear instead.
Oh, I know what the facts and logic are, but I think it's funnier to give. I'm sorry.
All right, is this why you're not hello yet?
There are a lot of reasons why. All right, early Tenpai for Navisa does end up taking the early reach for Reach Haku, running off the 1 pin off Dr. Docs here for Reach Ipat's Haku 5,200. So what do you guys think about that hand switching into a Hanetsu instead, rather than taking the early 1-4 pin, or even like maybe Damaring the early 1-4 pin and taking a cheap win, or giving yourself the chance to turn left into a Mangan Hanetsu Haku kind of thing?
I think with one other Han, it's a lot more reliable to just go for the confirmed positive EV by calling Ridge immediately, rather than hoping to get lucky and switching up to Hanetsu.
I think I agree with Muller there. If I was to go for Hanetsu with that particular hand, I would have gone for it earlier rather than when I Tenpai. So yeah, reaching there is completely fine.
All right, East 3, what do we have here? Ishan 10 on our left here, Miku 39. Maybe Soundtrack, maybe pin for Soundtrack. Maybe just pin for Dora 1. Probably pin for Dora 1, but if you draw a 3 pin, then you probably get rid of the 5-6 pin and go for Soundtrack. Tenpai here for Miku 39, waiting for the 3-6 man for Reach pin for Dora 1. Very nice, standard proletariat hand.
I'm going to pull a J here and say that this game's been going by pretty quickly so far.
And we're going to be here for the next hour.
Yeah, we're going to be here for a while.
We're going to be here for a while. What have you doomed us to?
As you said, though, this is a nice hand. Reach pin for Dora. With first place currently East, so this Oyakabra is going to be it's not the biggest hand in the world, but it's good value. We see Dr. Docs seems to be chasing behind while Rerial is folding out, actually, it looks like. Hand is just a little bit too awkward to work with. No visa, though. Or visa, depending on how would you like to call them.
Yeah, actually, on March Soul, they're Visa, aren't they?
On Discord, they are also Visa.
Confusing. Just use one name for everything. Come on, guys.
Yaku still has 5 winning tiles left in the wall.
Feeling that nice sumo flow. 5?
Okay, 5 though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seems like no Visa's
No
just,
Visa, yeah.
just
out
put
as well.
Yeah. So this is not a super important point, but it's just more of a things that every mahjong player goes through. When your discards after your Riichi are all just mid tiles and give every person like too much Suji to fold on, it's like a single tear in my eye. So if you sort of look at like, so sometimes you're reaching and I'm just cutting just a bunch of no information and the other players are left guessing. Or in this case, where you end up cutting the 5-so, 6-so, 7-so, 6-pin, and you basically just close off every Suji except for the 3-6-man Suji. And it's a bit annoying.
So it could go either way. Like, if there's more Suji in your pond, that makes it easier for the others to fold. Whereas if there's less Suji in the pond, people might just say, hey, I can't defend anyway, I might as well push. So either way, it can turn out bad for you, or it can turn out good for you.
I feel like when you have a fighting hand with a good weight, you probably want the ladder mentality. Induce the ladder in other people. Tempai here for Dr. Docs. Can't transform on for Reach.
That's horrible. There's nothing there.
but actually the weight's dead as well. Oh god.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
And Sumo. Okay, this is the best outcome for Dr. Docs here because it was a bit dead in the water. Reach Sumo Pin Fedora. Any Uro? Okay. Any Uro would have been very massive, but 1,300, 2,600, very, very good. Moving us along to East 4. East 4, South Cut, and Dr. Docs has already immediately offered an option. Do they take the pawn? And they do not. Probably hoping for better things.
With his current hand, you could probably, wait and see and decide on the second one. West and Huts for Rerial.
Second one.
Yeah,
we'll have to take it, unfortunately.
It's got a lot of lines for Rerial here. You've got, just Yaku Yaku. Yaku Honetsu is probably too far out, but it's also an option. Yaku Yaku is probably the line.
Toy Dash, you reckon?
Toy Dash is actually fairly possible here. That 6.
No, not on the 1-man draw. There's no way.
Yeah. If he manages to confirm the 6-man pawn, the Toy Dash actually becomes very possible with the 8-so pair and the sharp pair. But, as you've mentioned, that 1-man pretty much confirms he'll probably go for like the Yaku Yaku hand here. Honetsu, maybe depending. It definitely depends on which man he drew.
Hey, we have Toy Dash from the opposite player. 5-so pawn gets that awkward pair out of their hand, and
that's definitely a Toy Dash.
Yep.
Oh god! All right, three calls here ends up. I presume Dorotanki.
Please wait on the Dora.
Yeah. All right. There we go. Dorotanki. 2 8-sos cut from Rerial, so pretty much saying, yeah, nah, I'm going to take this Yaku Yaku cheap. I want the Mangan. Does push him back to Ishan 10, but I mean, I guess a Mangan hand is more threatening than a 2,000 point hand.
Against Kamicha with 3 calls, if I was in Rerial's position, I'd probably try and match speed a little more, particularly since Dr. Docs is potentially bluffing Honetsu, so those Manzu won't be easy to gather for Rerial.
Option does take Toy, so rejects the Ramen Tenpai and does take a Toy to go up to Mangan.
Yeah, East Toy Aka would be a very nice hand to round out the East round here. Ooh, 4-man. Doesn't deal into anything, so it's good for him.
Oh, come on.
No.
Can we say that you're not tile dreaming if you're not canning? Because I just need to tell people off for not
No,
canning.
no, no. He's taken the maximum dream, Ryan. He's waiting for 10 pies so he can
Oh!
for Hanchans.
This is too
Here's
sad.
the one pin. Yeah, the fold here is a little hard.
What a disaster. Does deal in the one pin, unfortunately for no visa. Deals into Dr. Docs for Yaku Aka Dorotu Mangan, 8,000 points. Moving on.
Good recovery here.
I mean, you could try and say Widora is a bit dangerous, but I feel like with the few tiles, you're probably screwed anyways. So really just maintain your tempo. At least I would.
Yeah, I'd deal into that and start crying afterwards. Or cry as I'm dealing it.
What do you think, Muller? Do you reckon you could have maneuvered your way out of that, or too few tiles?
No, I would have dealt in with that as well. Yeah, I wouldn't. If I was in Novice's position, I wouldn't have seen that coming.
Because it did look like an open Honitsu, didn't it? Because it was like 3 melds, shorting in the other suits. You could just consider it a no overflow Honitsu. That's what I would look at anyways. Alright. So, South one. South offered. South skipped. So, does not want to take the... Yes.
You only skipped the Yokohai.
Probably, maybe wanting to keep the Tushanten for Chitoi. Maybe wants to keep it Menzen for Ipeiko as well. There's a very, very long distance Sanchoku here, but like I am really squinting through the binoculars for that one.
Do you need glasses? I feel like you're squinting a lot recently.
Well, it's just because I'm choosing to see things from afar, right? Like, I'm looking into the distance. I'm not looking at the normal sight range.
Almost like your tile dreaming.
I don't feel good about that one.
I lose.
All right. Tap out, Mola. All right, you're commentating next week.
No, I don't think I can match up to SBT's lines on a consistent basis.
So I actually find this 8-mon card very, very interesting. It does immediately backfire. Not quite sure why the 8-mon came out over, say, a 4-mon. Maybe they saw more use in the 4-mon and thought the 9-mon is a pair? I'm not quite sure.
They most certainly saw 9-mon as a pair and wanted to confirm it. The problem is they've already got a confirmed pair in the south, so they're probably praying a little bit too much here, wanting to make the 9-mon a pair and confirm the south here, I think.
Yeah, if he was going to confirm 9-mon as his pair, then he should have called pawn on south to begin with.
10-5 for Miku 39. 6 9-mon weight for reach. Oh my god, he plucks out the last south. Does push the 4-mon. Okay. Half Suji.
Oh boy. Yeah, half Suji, it's alright.
It's okay.
Now,
It's
this weight.
5-man came out early from Miku's hand as well.
But an early 5-mon can be indicative of, say, a 5, 7, 8-mon isolating the what? Oh, right, yeah. Right, sorry, it doesn't go that way. Yep. Normally, an early 5-mon indicates either 1 4-mon or 6 9-mon. But with the early 1-mon, yes, it can be.
That's the last weight possible.
Does diffuse the situation, fortunately, and so does that win that nice reach Sumo for 501,000 points. Okay. I feel like this Hanchan has had too much excitement, and the scores are really close, anyways.
You're at 8, so only 1 copy in the board so far for Visa here. Possible Itsu chance for Ruriel. Has to draw 2 specific tiles. 4-pin. That's actually interesting for his hand, I think. Nah, it's not as interesting as I think.
I think there's no need to tunnel vision towards Itsu
Hmm.
just yet. Just play it by ear and move towards Pinfu.
Yeah, definitely. 2 Dora now for him as well. Could turn into a pretty expensive hand, especially as dealer here.
We'll have to see what they draw. 3 so. Praise be. Sorry, that was a 4 so. Am I blind? I must be blind. 4 so gets drawn, so let's fill out that 3/5/7 round card and put some into Ishanten for Pinfu, maybe Tanyao, maybe Ipeko.
Yeah, lots of possibilities there.
Trying to imagine how this becomes a Sanshoku, but I can't really see it.
Sunshock would be... It'd take a couple of disastrously good draws.
You'd have to draw the 6 mon, cut the 7 mon, then draw the 5 mon, and reach you on the 3 mon. As in, like, that's the most reasonable way to Sanshoku.
Yeah, there's not exactly a good way to get there.
Oh!
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Level.
Decides to take the Tenpai.
Does decide to take the Tenpai. How did I miss that? Oh, wait, that's a 2 mon, not a 3 mon. Am I blind? I thought that was like 2/2/3/3 mon. No, that's a 2/3/3/3 mon. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I'm like, wait a second. Okay, my bad. Sorry, guys.
There's an extra line there.
Yeah. So, early Tenpai, 2/5 pin, reach Tanyao. How many weights are there left? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 left?
This is Tenpai for Ariel, right? Yeah,
No.
Tenpai for Ariel, 8 man Tanki. Oh no! Oh no!
There's no Yaku.
Oh, there is no Yaku.
No, there is no Yaku, but it's just funny because if you reach it, you would have dealt into the parts. Reach your parts.
For some reason, I thought there was Pinfu in there, but of course, it's on a Tanki weight.
Yeah, no, it was guaranteed safe. It just felt funnier to me that
I mean, if you look on the bright side here, if he draws any of his connecting pins tiles, he has a decent weight here, but has to pass the 5 mon now, which is be a little bit dodgy.
Oh, 5 man is Nakasuji, so it's still not too bad.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is Nakasuji.
Nice Tsumo
It's
here
2
for Mikuthen. No. Reach Tsumo Tanya. Ura 3, Ura 3, Ura 3, Ura 0.
3 chances.
Yeah, Ura 0.
He's actually technically got minus Ura 3 there, so that should actually be a 0 on hand.
Oh no, is this the I remember this. Like the anti-Ura rule? We're like
The reverse Ura.
the reverse Ura. Oh no.
Let's make an agreement never to play that.
Yeah, I refuse to play that rule set ever.
Solanko, maybe. Nah, I'm too hopeful. It's a good 5-so draw for Dr. Dox here. Should cut one of his Yakuha and does do so. Whose hand would we favour here? All seems just a touch slow except for maybe Dr. Dox and Visa. But Dr. Dox's hand is a little value light and Visa's hand might end up on a iffy weight depending on how he tempais.
What did you reckon, Marla?
Dr. Dox has the advantage here. Both he and Novisa are Ishanten, but Dr. Dox has a wider one with 2 round men compared to Novisa's 2 pairs. Shampoo Kanchan.
Oh no, another Jun Trough for no visa. That hurts. That really hurts.
We see here Ariel is also progressing as well as Miku here.
We also have the very funny scenario where Novisa's pond is more expensive than his hand.
Tempai here for Miku. Kanchan 8-man doesn't take a Rishi. Can't take the Shanpon on the terminal conversion either, because he would be, rather they would be through 10 there. Progression seems to have slowed a bit. Now this 8-man's going to come out, but there's no Yaku for Miku, so can't take it. Nice draw for Rariel, filling out their 2-3-4 shape. Tenpai.
5-8 pin. For reach. Just a
Indeed.
reachy to move things along, I presume.
Well, the hand's never getting any bigger, so like the reach here, I guess, is fine. You know, there's also aura potential in there, I guess.
Oh!
That's
Ooh!
That's...
Pin? I think that's just a straight line push from Novisa. Wanting to maximize the Ukeire, keep the Chitoi, keep the Ipeiko, keep the very loose. Yeah. So 8 pin, and unfortunately it does deal into the Apats, so it deals into Dr. Dox's reach Apats. And yeah, so we're moving to South 4. As a reminder to the audience, there is no Agariyame, so South 4 goes until the dealer doesn't win. So unfortunately for Miku 39, they cannot just win like a 1000 point hand and move along. They will have to survive someone else winning, or at least get into Gyukyoku and No 10 here. Ishan 10 for Dr. Dox. Reach. Chooses to cut the 7-man. Keeping the 2 Hanchans and keeping the 7-man open as a roundman, I presume. That's not a nice tile to get. Slightly wider Ishanten, 3 pin, adding a 3 pin and a 4 pin to the Ishanten pile. Interesting. Does choose to cut the 6 pin, losing the 7 pin Ukeire, but confirming the Ipeiko if they draw to 5 pin. Although I guess that would already come out anyways. Looking around the board, what else do we have? Haku was dropped, but Rero does not pun it.
Is this Tenpai? This is Tenpai.
This is Tenpai.
Take it. Yes. Yes, my dude.
So Tenpai here for Dr. Dox. With the Regis stick in the so the gap to first place is 9,000. Oh, that sucks. All right, the gap to first place is about 9,100 points. So a Mangan Sumo is necessary here for Dr. Dox to upset first place, which will mean they need to flip at least one more Ura in order to get there. So Reach Sumo Dora 1 needs to have one more Ura before they can get the first place.
They don't have any Dora in there, so they'd have to flip 2.
Oh wait, oh my gosh, what? I thought Onso was the Dora. My mistake, sorry. 8 pin does come out from Novisa. So it would have gotten it if they'd sued, but you can't really see that far ahead. So they are just shy of a victory.
8-pin seems to be their lucky tile. They won 2 8-pins in the last 2 hands.
So yeah, that confirms that Hanchan. So we have Miku 39 in first place, Dr. Dox in second, Rariel in third, and Novisa in last place. Can we pull up Miku 39 for an interview?
I have pinged them, but yes,
you pinged Novisa. You pinged last place for an interview.
I fixed it.
You are a cruel man. You are a cruel man.
Maybe we should interview last place sometime.
Yeah. Do we have a response? I'm gonna
maybe jump into the next.
Yeah, I'll just look at this game while we're
just for
going.
now, as we do have half an hour before the next game actually even starts.
We're way ahead of schedule. All right. Oh my gosh, this is gonna. Okay. So it's Genji. Okay, so we have illegal in the east seat, Osbol in the. Well, sorry. I can't remember names. I think that's 5 on the east seat right now.
No, that's DC.
Oh, it's
Hello,
DC.
hello.
Right. DC in the east seat, illegal in the south seat, Osbol in the west seat, and Genji in the north seat.
All right, so we'll come back to this. Miku has just joined the interview desk.
Oh, right. Yeah, let's go back.
Yeah. Welcome, Miku. Congratulations on your win.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So yeah, I really wanted to watch you because earlier we were talking about how you always
Yeah, I
lose
was-
whenever I'm watching. So
Yeah, I was crying for him not to watch my game.
overall, it's just like a super fast Hanchan. You just got some nice Sumos, as we can see over here. But
Yeah, my hands are pretty straightforward. So.
One thing I wanted to ask you about was that South 4 situation. So you sort of see your Shimocha Richi here. Your hand is not very good. Not very it's still like what 3 Shanten away. But if they sumo a manga and you lose your first place, so it didn't end up being a relevant question. But like, would you have pushed if say you did decide to fold here on the 6 mon?
Yeah, I completely folded my hand.
Why was there any reason why you didn't trust the Suji on the 3-pin?
Let me check.
It's on the Discord thing, so you can just join the Discord stream.
Oh, let me join the stream first.
Yep, all good.
Yeah, I wouldn't cut the 6. I wouldn't cut the 3-pin before, because I would just completely fold my hand and hope him don't sumo this.
So at this point you were deciding that you were
push.
just out of the hand. I'm guessing, like you didn't want to deal with.
I wouldn't even cut Chun because I was, in case someone else reaches, I have more saved out. So I would just go for a more safer route. So 6-7 mark.
So you were thinking like this hand doesn't come together on time, so I don't want to mess around with this Richi, and hope that they don't sumo for a Mangan.
Yeah, it was too risky. I didn't put the Chun as well. So.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, just relying on the lower value, and you ended up being like basically correct, other than the 3 flip, of course. But let's not think about that.
That was close.
Yeah. But otherwise, nothing really stood out to me, and I mean that in a good way. Sort of just like you built your hands, and then they sort of just came very naturally because they were very nicely built and very fast. Sort of floating like Sanshoku chances here, which is something that I noticed, rather than maybe a Tanyao shift.
Yeah, I wouldn't do Tanya because Laura is 1 more here.
Yeah. But yeah. Other than that, just seemed like a very solid Hanjan, very nice. I want to hear no more complaints if I start spectating your games from now on, because clearly you've had one good shot. So.
Thanks.
Congrats on your win. Hopefully we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. So this does conclude our second Hunter for the day, and we are miles ahead of schedule. Like the next scheduled Hanchan is in 27 minutes, and both games have finished, so we're missing on things.
So I haven't prepared enough content for this much of a delay.
I think we're just gonna have to take a very long break, right? Like,
should we maybe have a look at the replay of the other game and just skim through it? Maybe.
Maybe.
That should take that'll take maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and then.
The other option
Apparently,
is,
the other Hanchan was just ridiculously swingy, so it might be worth having a look.
You were saying, Mullen?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, if everyone's here, maybe you could start the next games early, depending on what the
We could.
Sorry, I was missing out on something. What did we think about doing? Go watch the
we
other
could.
Hanchan. Watch the South 4. All right. You know what? Apparently the South 4 is crazy. So, okay. Before we go, do we want to go straight into South 4, or do we just wanna watch the whole thing?
I feel like if we're already here, we might as well just swing through a little bit of the action. At least skim through it. And I'll check whether or not the other guys actually want to start early.
Or just start from East 4. I feel like there's some Osball bias here. Like some extreme Osball bias here.
Who's who in this replay?
Sorry?
Who's who in this replay?
So we are I have the player names. I can't turn the player names off. Unfortunately. I think we're watching Illegal Lolly here, but I don't know who the other seats are. Sorry.
Give me a moment, I'll double check that for you.
Okay. Osball is adamant on starting on East 4, so we will start on East 4. Oh my god, I just saw that.
So in the east seat is illegal. In the west, south seat is Osbol. West is Genji, and DC in north.
So 1 4-man Richie from C-san here. Oikake Richie here on the 6-pin, ready for the 2-man Forso. Reach Nami. Oh god, 3. Oh wait, hold a sec. Is that a Tsumogiri Oikake? So Oz gets into Tenpai. 7-man 7-so. Chooses. Yeah, I presume this is a Sumo-san Anko. That's the only reason. Oh no, it's a direct run off of. Oh my god.
Oh yikes! Wait a minute.
Reach Ipat's Tanyao Dora San Aka Ura 1 for that. A Baiman rod. That's kind of disgusting. Alright, and then we go to South. Alright, let's just go to South 4, because apparently they were saying that this was, Alright, let's see. Oh, there's a 100-point gap between these two players. Oh my god.
Huh. That's spicy.
That is spicy. Alright, let's see what happens.
That's a situation where you kind of open up your hand and really, just cross your fingers. It's just like, please have a Yakuhai somewhere in here, or even Tanya.
Oh, unfortunate.
It's so unfair.
Oh, this is harsh. This one hurts. A putt steal in on the 9-pin. Reach a putt door. Okay, and did that put them in first place? Let me do the math for me. Oh, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? Alright, it did put them in first place.
So what is that? That's Oz Genji, DC illegal in that order.
Unfortunate.
Oh, what a rough game.
What a rough game for our hero here. But oh my gosh, what
I'm
a
curious
swing.
how DC made a comeback from that Baiman deal in.
Alright, let's go back. Alright, let's skip that, and then it goes to South 4. Alright, let's see. Dora is cut here. Presumably seeing one. Unfortunately, does draw another Dora. How do they come back here?
So this hand on its own is pretty spooky from
Alright, so unfortunately they are furry 10 on the 258 so they just corner the 58 so they're not furry 10 anymore. That makes sense. Oh god. That'll do it. That'll do it.
That explains a lot.
that will do
That's
it.
how you come back.
That is indeed how you come back if you decide that you need to come back.
Oh, did they win another hand?
I believe so.
Oh,
Oh god.
oh.
Oh god. Oh god! What the hell is happening? And then we've seen this hand. All right, yeah, as Mola says, that does explain a lot.
But he
That's
tried
lit.
so hard and got so far, but in the end, it didn't even matter.
So I think yes, that was definitely an entertaining Hanchan. We will be back. Are we good to start the other Hanchans early, or are we just gonna take a 20-ish minute break?
No, I believe we're actually just gonna take a longer break because I believe a couple of the league players don't actually use Discord, so I've got no way to contact them and ask, "Are you good to start early?"
Fair enough, fair enough. Yep, so we'll take a small break. We'll be back in about 20 minutes, starting the last Hanchans of the day. So, yep, until then. Hello. Welcome back. We have the next game starting up very, very soon. We will be taking the perspective of ZY here. So we will have ZY in the east seat, Cheese in the south seat, Wallaby in the west seat, and MCR Ricci in the north seat. I'm actually really excited for this Hanchans. Maximal Spice.
It's quite an interesting table.
Look forward to see how these people rip each other apart. I hope. I want a Hanchan where like you hit South 3, everyone's on 25k, but every hand before it has been Mangan minimum.
I mean, it makes for good content.
That'd be very interesting indeed.
It's like we had that entire Hanchan. How did we get to get to this point? All right, starting things off, 7-man Dora. All right, how do things look? Oh gosh, those are some awkward hands everywhere.
It's not what you want to see.
Chitoi Shanten here for ZY, but it is a Chitoi Nomi Shanten, and may just left turn out of it with a 1-man cut here. Never mind, Onso to just maintain the Shanten at least, and leave themselves a way out.
That 4-pin is very nice from them, though.
Does drop the 1-man at this point, figuring that Chitoi is a fake Yaku, so never go Chitoi. You heard it here first. Oh wow, this hand just got like significantly better with 3 draws. What else we
end up in a kind of awkward final shape if he doesn't manage to turn some of those other pairs into sequences as well.
Or even draw something like, oh gosh, there. Oh, sorry. You go on, SBT?
That Dora draw would look really good for ZY if you don't look at the fact that he's already cut the 8-man. So it's a nice hand, but it's going to be a little bit awkward here, I think.
Oh gosh, what do you do here? Yeah, okay, so no weirdness, just keep your Shanten, go for Tanya Dora 1, I guess. 2 Dora for Cheese on our right here. We'll have a hard time getting a Yaku that's not just reach. So pawn 7-man drop. Will Cheese take it? Does end up taking it, going for Tanya Dora 3, or even like, okay, can't be not Dora 3, but does go for Tanya Dora 3. Early Tenpai here for ZY, 6 so 4-man. So we have the classic case of the very expensive hand on our right and the very Tenpai hand on the center here. 4 weights, 3 weights left in the wall. 3-pin pawn does progress Cheese to 2 Shanten.
Well, you know what they say, with the Mangan you can call 4 times and it's totally fine.
2 calls, 2 Shanten, the classic.
With that, with the Dora pawn, however, he does apply a lot of pressure here. So, with the exception of ZY, who's already in Tenpai, the others might actually look to posture a little bit defensively here, and I think that's actually what we. I think that's actually what we see happening here.
Ishanten for Cheese. We'll need a 3-6 or 2-5 mon. 2 6-0s are drawn by MCR Ichi. So leaves that 1 4-man left in the wall. Yes. Last 4-man. Alright, never mind. Oh, does that get them to Tenpai as well? Oh god, it does. Will they take it?
Considering they're already there, and
Dama.
it looks like a what is it? A Tanyao hand from Cheese here. It's pretty likely they'll at least take Tenpai, which they do. Whether or not they decide to reach at some point is it's a whole nother story.
So you have
like quite a good weight though. He should probably push a lot harder than this, I think.
Especially he can see 4 8-mans and no 9-mans, so but he also sees that everyone is going for Tanyao, so Yeah,
that's
Daimon is super live in the wall, and does just to take the Tsumo. So Tsumo Aka for 1326, just as Cheese gets into Tenpai, and moves us along to East 2. I feel like you with the so you see 3 people going for Tanyao, and then you see 4 8-mons. I think you can reasonably expect even both 9-mons to be in the wall. Would you say that's a fair read there, Ola?
Yeah, absolutely.
So probably I felt like I would have liked it more if Wallaby had reached that and sort of apply pressure, and if you'd sumo it as well, you push yourself up to a nice mount gun. So, but I think Wallaby wanted to take the more conservative route, didn't want to deal into the Tanyao Dora 3. Can't be too mad at that. Daisangen, well, from Wallaby's perspective, it looks like a Daisangen chance, but as we know, we see a Hatsu pair here.
Oh, the Shosangen is still there.
Yeah. Ishan 10 here for ZY. 3 so being off. Whoa, they rejected the 3 so. Sorry, I'm not memeing that. Like they turned down their Tenpai to go for Shosangen.
Does actually even end up finding the Haku here. So one would argue it worked out, but one would argue that's also hindsight bias and a touch dodgy.
Taking the chi would have been 2,000 points with a Kanchan weight. So given that it's still early, it's fair play that he decides to pass it up, and the young man would be easy to reform anyway.
Tenpai here for ZY.
Start calling from your bad shapes and leave the strong shapes for later.
Alright, Tenpai here for ZY. 258 man. Tenpai for Wallaby. Shosangen Aka Tenpai. I would laugh if ZY drew the last Hatsu.
I'd be a touch mad if I was ZY, not gonna lie.
I would just laugh. Just because I'm a friend of ZY's and I like laughing at his misery. So
you're one of those people.
Yeah, definitely.
What a good friend.
Yeah. Hanuman chance as well for Wallaby if they go up on the 9, if they can draw a 9-pin, adding a Dora.
Do you ever fold here as Wallaby, or do you always just hard push?
I'm pretty much always pushing if I'm entirely. Oh god, that's the Hanuman.
Yeah, you're pushing now.
Oh no, would have felt hit on the 9-pin if he turned down the Shosangen.
It would have been in for a 10 on the 6-9.
Oh right, yeah. Oh, I keep missing the free turns. All right, thank you for informing me. All right, where's this last Hatsu? This is the very, very, very big one. This is the is this like if you're Hiyoshi and then you start saying, oh okay, never mind, a death. Oh not. Oh, is he really? Okay. I was actually gonna say, is he thinking about this? Is he?
Despite it being a Hanchan, a lot of the weights were eaten up by cheese, but in the end, it didn't quite matter. Run for what was it, 2,000?
2,600 for ZY. Reach draw 1. Very nice. So we do have an immediate Ankan Wallaby for Wallaby, as in like a Kanko, whatever it's called, like a closed Kansu. We'll have to see when they slam the button. Now, if we look at the team, Wallaby is not on Can't for Fun, but surely they have enough points where they're allowed to Can't for Fun.
The way this is going, I think he's definitely going to come.
So let's see.
Would definitely like to connect the door at some point. Wallaby, that is, but depending on how his hand goes, as Muller's mentioned, he will probably just kun for that. When he's Ishan 10, he might look to kun to get into Tenpai, or even just apply a little bit of pressure. Meanwhile, 6-month draw for MCR Ricci. I like where this hand is going.
Nah, they cut the 9-man. They're not going for Chinitsu.
Interesting that Magrichi cut the 3-5 so Kanchan though, rather than drop in say 3-man for Binfu or 1-man for Tanya.
They're probably trying to keep 5 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like a bloated 5 blocks. It's my guess, anyways.
Possibly.
Alright. So Khan does reveal the new Dora, which is the 8-sir. One that gives Cheese an extra Dora. Wallaby is in Ishanten. Nice Kutsuki Ishanten. Does that count as Kutsuki Ishanten? But Cheese does get into Tenpai during the 4-sir, waiting for the 6-9, so premium class weight. Yes. Very,
yeah,
very
lots
good.
of Dora in there as well.
Yeah.
What are we looking at? Like reach Pinfu Dora free or something like that?
Yes. So we'll have to see how the other players react. 2-pin Chi does come out from MCR Ichi, so he's trying to shut this hand down. 9-pin draw from... Oh, okay. Yeah. So 9-pin draw from ZY. So it's a bit scary, because what happens if he draws a 6 or a 4-man or a 7-man? Is he going to keep pushing, or is he going to fold? So we see an immediate fold on the 2-man once the 6-0 is drawn for MCR Ichi. Not wanting to test the waters even with the Hatsu. In terms of how good the way is, there's still 4 left in the wall, so... Oh, Tenpai. Free turn. Unfortunately. But it is Tenpai.
Reach with Dora cut 3-10. This is that's spicy.
Yeah, you guys want to
She
play
told
the game of the red hand? Because look at ZY. Going for Cheetoy with pairs of the 6-9 so and pairs of the 4-7
lighting up like a Christmas tree, man.
Oh my gosh. Alright.
Yes.
All that's
Well, you gotta hand it to ZY though. Like he's, dodged out of the way of this quite well so far.
It's got so Suji.
4 months.
4-man does come out. So
it is free. We are good there.
Yes, it is free 10. Interestingly, they didn't decide to continue on for a 1-so cut because I believe well, actually, I forgot which way the calls were. Was 4-so safe against Wallaby?
I believe it was.
So it was interesting that if it was, then it was interesting they didn't decide to cut the 1-so and keep their Cheetoy Ishanten. Perhaps they thought that they couldn't get rid of any of the other tiles and they didn't want to test it. Oh, it's Sumo there for Wallaby. Reach Sumo. No Ura. So a nice cheap 1,300 all.
Oh my.
Start to East 3.
Cheese isn't going to be happy about
No,
that.
I don't think so. I highly doubt he's going to be happy about that one.
It's alright though. Only East 3, 1 Honda now. Wallaby in the lead. Not, the game is still close. The point margin is around the Mungun and a bit away for last place to first place, but otherwise the game is quite tight. Hakuyanko now. What are we going for here? Probably just Haku Dora looks to be the best case scenario for Wallaby, maybe?
Yeah, I think I can agree with that. Cheese was going for a Sanshoku with the early 4-man cut, rather than trying to, say, connect the 4-man off, wanted to isolate the 1-2 man, 1-3 pin, and 1-3 so. Keeping the Hatsu, presumably because they don't imagine their hand is going anywhere. So, probably we'll cut like actually, what will you cut here? We'll cut the Hatsu here, but before it was keeping it safe. Doesn't want to cut the 9 pin. Because it is Dora and useful.
Connects the Dora. Well, does connect the Dora, but his hand is still quite awkward here.
You know what I'd
basically
like? I don't think it's a good play, but you know what I'd like here?
Like 1 pin?
5 pin. 5-4-3. I don't think it's a good play. For what, I'm not advertising it as a universally good play, by the way. I'm just saying I would have a lot of fun if they cut the 5 pin.
I was trying to find like an absolutely horrible play to match you, and then you like one-upped me.
You can't one up pure trolling.
So,
Two Shanten here for Wallaby. Itsu chance.
might even progress into like a reach Haku Dora. Depending on what tiles they find. The Mangun would really open up that gap, and no, not that Flame Curse Evil I need it, but securing a lead into week 6 of 9 would be big.
Contra.
Cheese connects up.
Sorry.
Yep, go on.
It's Contra 5 wait for MCR Richi here. Tanyanami does offload the 9 pin, but can't use it. Choosing to keep Dharma because it's a cheap hand with a really crap weight. Tenpai for cheese does take it, so pen 7 pin for Reach Doradora. 7 so another early 6 so yes, does indicate safety. So it does do a kata, was it Karageri reach? So when you have the same tile, but you cut it from the middle of your hand to pretend like you progressed your hand into Tenpai. So 7 pin is dead, so cheese is dead in the water. He's at the mercy of a. Okay, well, Tenpai for Wallaby here for 4/7 pin for Haku Doradora.
Nice. So head bump is alive here. So if ZY cuts the 7 pin for whatever reason, cheese does get preference. However, that's not the same for 4 pin, which there are still what, 2 in the wall? Yeah,
Yep.
2 in the wall.
So cheese is at the mercy of not drawing the wrong tile here.
Also, still 2 5-man left in the wall.
Yeah, why is this dead wall holding so many weights? That's like okay, never mind. I was gonna say that's about 6 weights that are like in the last 16 tiles, last 20 tiles, something like that.
That's the deal among Gun we were talking about. Wallaby did progress into that. From my memory, did progress into that Honitsu. No, it wasn't Honitsu line. It was just Haku Doradora.
Itsu.
Haku Doradora Itsu.
Yes, so very nice hand for them. Sharpon from ZY here, probably just wanting to get this over and done with. Hand doesn't particularly look like it's more expensive from this point other than drawing a 5 pin.
Yeah, stop the runaway train here and hopefully grab something in the next few hands is the line. Pon 10 chances now as well, so that 8-man is actually a lot better than it looks, I think.
Let's see. We might have the fancy double in tots wait soon. If ZY can draw a 5 pin and cut the 8-man, you'd be waiting for 6 9-man 5 8 pin. I like double in tots waits, they're very fun. They're not as good as they feel, but they are fun. Alright, 8-man does come out.
They're a lot prettier than they actually are.
Yes.
5, 8, 10 pie now. It's a little
Oh, no
I
diamond.
feel like this fight's gonna be difficult to run.
Yes. You probably only get the 8 pin if they run it. Probably. Unless someone reaches and they cut the Aka. Ishan 10 for Wallaby for Chundura 1.
Whoa.
Sorry, Mola, what were you saying?
Well, Wallaby discarded the 6 pin, so if he drew any other Pinzu, he'd have to discard it right into ZY.
Unless they chose to fold, right? Because with their lead, they may think, oh, Dora's the one tile I don't want to let loose.
Well, potentially, but given his lead, he might also decide to, just push whatever he can and build his lead as much as he can.
This makes sense.
That's actually a good point.
So we move to East 4. MCR Richie is in the DLC. Let's see. What do we have when we look around? Cheese's tiles have been very awkward this Hanchan.
Needs to make a move soon, and this hand is not what he needs to make that move.
Oh.
There's basically no value in it as of right now, and even, sometimes you could argue that without value, you have decent-ish weight to, just progress the game, but even with this, this hand just doesn't have either of those, so, going to be crossing his fingers and hoping to draw something soon. 4-pin
that
is
is definitely something.
a good find. Sunshocker possibilities now.
ZY has opened up Tanya possibilities. Known so cut from Cheese is confirming that Tanya or Sunshocker may be, but more likely just Tanya.
I don't know, Sunshocker is actually a pretty fair possibility in Cheese's hand right now, I think. Would definitely love to draw the 6-pin to confirm that shape, but 6-pin, from our perspective, there's only one of them left, so might be a little bit difficult to find. Meanwhile, McRitchie, that's actually a pretty hand, I think.
Yeah, it's an ideal Shantan for Pinfu. Dora too. Sorry, Muller, what's up?
Yeah, perfectly Shantan, I was saying.
Yep. So, a bit of a scary one on our left here.
ZY is also opened up the chance for Sunshocker now on the 4-5-6.
This is quickly shaping up to be a pretty expensive hand here. 3-pin for Cheese is a very nice find. Potentially 2 or 8 so here, I think, might be the cut. 2 so does come out. Five Mun improves the shape for Cheese. 2 so.
Oh god. Oh god.
That's a lot of Dora.
That's a lot of Dora.
That's exactly what you want to see during your dealership
is that an Oikake? That is an Oikake. A bit of fighting spirit from Cheese. 3-6 Mon versus 2-5 Oh, never mind. It doesn't matter. Sorry. Did I say things like the decisions mattered? I forgot. Just Sumo and
Hano. And just like that, McRitchie is back in the game.
Now we have the 2 New South Wales teams on top. With 2 Victoria teams.
Indeed. Victoria is taking a beating this Hanchan.
Are you looking to defect?
No.
No.
I believe in my state. I don't look at my state's downfalls and think, it's time to leave. I believe in them to grow again. It's like a good Western movie.
It doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down, just as long as you get back up.
Exactly. No matter how many times you're beaten down, you gotta rise up and beat down the other people.
It's like a V-shaped curve, as ScoMo likes to say.
I don't understand this reference. I should pay more attention to the news. I should pay more attention to the news.
Oh no.
That's right, mate.
Alright.
Pretty yikes shapes across the board.
Yeah, everyone here has got a bit of an awkward hand, really.
The only thing looking up this hand so far is like ZY with the Dora. Actually converting the hand though is going to be a touch difficult. 3-pin might be a nice find for them. 7-pin would definitely be a nice find.
Oh, that's a really good draw that allows them to open this hand.
Is indeed a very nice draw.
We'll have to find out where the last south is, so.
I mean, statistically, 14 out of, 50-ish draws left? So 14 out of 60 something draws means that you're only dead about 75%. Sorry, you're only dead about 25% of the time.
Don't you
Yeah, but
introduce your
it's also a question of if it's too far in the wall, potentially someone else can get to Tenpai before you. Then it's a bit of a tough situation to be in.
Does get the tempo.
Tenpai.
Very nice. Like it's very good pawns as well because it doesn't look like a Atazuke. It just looks like a Tanyao. If you sort of look at like ZY's pond, right? Like nothing about that says non Atazuke for Dora Dora. It just looks like Tanyao.
What happens if you draw 9? Toy Dash? Or rather, Toy conversion at this point?
I have no idea.
Yeah, probably discarding 6-man. No, 4-man would be best.
Do you see a Hut's Pond from Wallaby here? 6-0 does progress his hand as well. It's a touch, rather not a progression, but rather a sidestep. Has a possibility to incorporate the red 5 into his hand. Confirms his 6-0 Unko now. Tempo.
5-8 month. Where is this non? Now it's more likely to be the dead wall.
At this point, it's definitely a question of whether or not it even comes out anymore.
I imagine Wallaby would cut it.
Oh, Wallaby would probably cut it here, but maybe I'm not exactly sure if McReachy or even Cheese look to drop it here. Cheese is basically out of the hand, has a loose copy of the Dora, which is quite difficult to offload right now, I think.
Unfortunately.
But it is small, so it's
What did
fine.
I tell you?
Alright, does move us along to South 1.
Eee.
You got some nice hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. In
This
stark
looks a lot
contrast to... Oh, sorry.
No, go on.
I was going to say, in stark contrast to the last hand, this hand, everyone just has premium. So now you have a fight over who can convert their premium hand the fastest.
Definitely.
Least premium is... It's either MCR Ichi or Cheese here, with the very fairly awkward. Like, MCR Ichi has like a lot of value, but here's the problem of he probably needs to Richi to get to turn those two 1-mans into actual usable Yaku. Sorry, into usable value. And to Richi with that hand, you'd have to draw the 7-so, or even draw like a 1-man sometimes.
Pairing up the 1-pin was great for Wallaby. Now he's on track for Toy Toy.
Let's see. 6-pin draw, puts them into Ishan 10 for Haku. Nice draw from ZY. Question becomes, is ZY just gonna go for like the well, I mean, is ZY gonna go for the pin for Ipeko, or are they gonna try and maybe keep it more expensive, especially on that 3-pin draw? Now the hand has got a lot of value Menzen if they can draw into Tenpai. 1-pin 3-so Tenpai for Wallaby. Haku Nami. 9-pin draw for Cheese here. Very nice. Puts them into Ishan 10. Tenpai.
This is a reach.
Yes, this is a reach. So, 4-7-1. That's why so many 4-7-1 did.
Oh my.
2 8s. So reach Tanya Dora 1. Be a nice 7,700 direct hit, or if, 4k all if they sumo it, or forbid 8k all if they can hit flip Ura 3.
Alright, enough of that.
Wait, no, sorry. It would still be 6k all if they hit Ura 3. No, wait, no, we could just have what we had earlier today. Khan the 7-pin, Rin Shan, 8k all.
What's the 17 as well, wasn't it?
Wallaby does pick up the 6-0 and decides to fold on the 6-0 draw, presuming that the 5-0 can indicate what's it called?
Urasuji.
Is it Urasuji?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Urasuji on the 5-0.
Actually, it said that Urasuji at the reach tile is safer than normal, because if he had 5-7-8, he should have discarded 5 earlier.
Oh no, that's
also
not.
The theory goes anyway.
Oh, I meant something like a 4-5-5, whatever that's called when you cut the 5 so Richie.
Oh, Matagi Suji.
Yeah, Matagi.
Yeah, that's also potentially an option here.
So probably why they don't want to cut the 6-0. They didn't want to deal into Matagi. 3.
There's also no need to push into this as of right now.
Chief?
Sure you would have summoned there, but you would have also, potentially dealt in somewhere along the line. With your lead, there's not necessarily a need to be giving out welfare checks as of right now.
Make them take it from you. Tenpai for cheese. 258 pin, 310.
Probably taking this, yeah. It's so close to the end, and you're already there with decent enough value. So in last place, you're definitely going to be going.
It's only one tile. No, hang on. That 258 pin is dead.
Can they pass the 1 pin? Expected value says that you can pass the 1 pin. Oh, sorry. 7 pin completely safe? Oh, 7 pin wasn't safe either.
It's safer.
Safer. I was gonna say that you can pass 1 Suji normally at the last draw, and it's technically positive EV. There's a chart for it somewhere that the Alan was talking about. That's not important. What's important is the non-Dora Anko from in Wallaby's hand. And it's already Ishan 10.
There have been a lot of Yakuhai Ankos, not just this game, but tonight in general.
Tenpai, shockingly enough, Tenpai for Wallaby here for non-Dora-san Huts Tanki, and I have a fear in the pit of my stomach, because I think the first player to pick up the Hutsu probably just cuts it. That's not just Wallaby.
You know what? You're probably not wrong. What are the chances both are eaten up by the dead wall?
We've had that happen before, so we're not ruling. I don't think we can rule it out. We've definitely had 2 outers. Okay, has the chance for a 6/9 man wait, however, with 3 6/9 mans cut and 2 seen in the hand, it's not as good, and that's death.
And yeah,
and death.
Good night, good sir.
Good night, my fair prince. Does deal into Nandora-san, moving us along the south too. Wallaby very much in the driver's seat here.
Flame Curse Evil Eye are definitely opening up a wide lead now. That lead matters with the point system we have for this league. So, even though it's still, midway through the league, every single point you can grab matters. So this is a pretty nice strategy they've got going so far.
Strategy is pick up Dora Uncos. It's a good strategy.
I don't know, it's a better strategy than just getting Oyakaburi Hanuman all the time, Jay.
Yeah, I know. No. I understand. I understand. I mean, they've been playing very solidly. Like, this is not me disparaging their general playstyle. Like, I've not had a Hanchan where I've seen them and thought, ugh. But like, yeah, I've been given some very nice hands as well to, supplement their good play.
And she's in the dealership here, takes an early pawn on the east. Really wants to make something out of his dealership here. Pawn from the pay has ZY has managed to pair up the red 5, or rather his 5-man by drawing a red 5 earlier. So Ishan 10 now in a pretty good shape. 5 so draw would be best for him, but we do see 4 of them in MCR Ichi's hand.
Please can't it. just break his advice heart right here and just destroy any confidence left. Like what you have to do, right, is that you draw a 6-so.
Oh my god.
Can the 5-so and
the
draw the 8-so of his Rinshot.
Oh my god.
So you don't even go back and shunt it. So
first, let the man get hit by a early mum gun, and then you destroy his spirit.
First you destroy their body, then you destroy their spirit.
Oh boy.
Could have gone both the two.
Oh, there's another possibility. 4 pins in Wallaby's hand.
What's up, Mala?
For ultimate despair, you would also con the 2-so and the 8-so. Somehow.
You take them from the pond and just con it. Okay, no. Here's the funnier outcome. Okay, never mind. Okay, Cheese draws another 2-so, keeps it for no reason. Then MCR Ricci cuts a 2-so and Cheese pawns it.
Oh, that's just despair.
Just having fun imagining how people would
Consider retirement after that, man.
Tenpai here for MCR Ricci. Kanchan 6-pin. No Yaku, however.
Goes backwards in shot 10 here.
So choosing to play around with that Dora 3, especially because he sees 3 6-pins, so not a very nice shape at all.
ZY sensing that the his Sozu are used up by someone here, does decide to side shift his hand, misses a pawn on the 6-so though. A little bit unfortunate, but what can you do?
Ishan 10 for cheese.
That was probably the better play for ZY just now. Rather than... Actually, no, hang on. He should have cut the 7-so instead. What? Because he doesn't want to keep the overlapping down men. And if possible, he should have replaced that with the Manzu, but he broke up his perfect Ishan 10.
Are we really gonna have... Ooh, okay, Ricci here. Kanchan 8-so for Reach Dora 3.
There's one left in the wall somewhere.
And Cheese has got an isolated 8-so. Oh my god.
Can you hear that? That's Cheese's teammates in the locker room just praying he doesn't Tenpai.
Oh, it draws an 8-so.
Oh, this!
Draws an
Oh,
8-so.
this is a lot better as well.
This is a lot better. Unless... Okay.
Come on. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Now you can hear Cheese in the locker room.
Cheese? No, not even Tenpai.
No, it's not there.
Cheese still needs Tenpai, however. And does not get it, so unfortunately can't progress their dealership. Unfortunate. Cheese just doesn't get another dealership, but I mean, we're dealing on the 8-so, so that's something.
Silver lining.
That is a silver lining.
Definitely. Unfortunate for McRicci, or MCR Ricci as well, not being able to convert his Dora freehand, but you take what you can get, plus 2,000. Doesn't get his reach stick back, but South free now. has the all last dealership as well, so winning this hand is going to set him up well for an all last comeback.
This has been like premium entertainment value if you're a sadist. So this is why it's been premium entertainment value for me, for just me. Like I have thoroughly enjoyed this entire Hanchan because it just involves my two friends Cheese and ZY suffering for like not even half an hour, 40 minutes so far.
Ooh, that 8-man is interesting. Am I seeing this right?
So I think they're choosing to go headless because they have 5 blocks already. So wait, 1, 2, 3.
He can pair up 4/7 pin or 3/6 pin.
Yep.
So going headless isn't terrible. I probably still would have just started with 4-man though.
Lots of Dora potential as well. Now we should bring our eyes to Wallaby here. That very quick Honitsu push. Dora free as well.
Yeah, what the hell? Chun Honitsu Dora 3. That's an 18,000 hand if you can get it.
You sound nervous.
No, I'm laughing. Like at this point, you kind of have to embrace it. 10 pie, 5/8. So 4 Wallaby. Rangman wait
5
for
spots left in the wall.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
For Chun Honitsu Dora-san will be a 6,000 point all or 18,000 points direct hit if either Cheese or ZY or MCR Ichi drop the 8-5 or 8 so. I fear I would be. Sorry?
Imagine if ZY pairs the 6-0.
I don't want to think about it.
I don't want to think about that. Actually, no, I do want to think about that because
It's just a slaughter.
okay. Here's the thing though: if he pairs the 6, I don't think he would cut the 5, because his hand is just pin food on me, or pin for Dora 1, but it's against like Wallaby, who's got an open Honitsu and has already overflowed 1 tile, and like 5 is the Mataki Suji to that overflow tile, so it's even worse. So I would almost imagine he may even cut something like, oh god. Oh god. Yeah.
No, please bail out. Bail out, Mike. Yeah, that's it. Get the buckets, we're bailing.
Escape.
Yeah. I think too much discipline on ZY's side. Also probably just wants to leave Cheese in last place. Tenpai for Cheese. We'll have to drop the 5. I forgot about Cheese.
He's gonna do
Surely not. Surely not.
Matempai? Matempai! Oh, death and destruction. Deals the 5 into Chun Honit's Dora 3 for the 18,000 points, sending them to negative 10,000.
Hello, welcome to the Shadow Realm. I'm SBT. I'll be your escort tonight. Unfortunate to say the least, but no, last place. What can you do?
All right, so you guys are on the public Mahjong Discord, right? You know the emote Kavi Bop? We need a picture of that. Just like, just sprawl that on the screen because definitely feels like it was bopped by a hammer at that point.
New background, Jay.
It's just Kavi with the Kavi Bop emote.
Oh boy.
Oh god.
So it's our 3-2 now. ZY, very nice looking hand. We're looking at maybe Reach Tanyao, Pinfu, Ipeko, Dora, Aka would be like the best case scenario here.
And that hand would still not really bring him close to first place. Does get it to Tenpai.
Each.
I mean, you got to start somewhere.
Okay. If Wallaby drops the 8 into the Aputs, you could give ZY a small chance of getting first place. But
you're probably you're shooting for like second here. Even.
Yeah, I feel like at this position you shoot for second place. Ooh.
Even second place is a bit far. He's probably just got to try and accumulate as much points as he can.
But with this hand, it's
Is-
very achievable, right? Like Tampin
Absolutely.
E Peiko Dora Dora.
This is a miracle hand.
Yes, this is the sand. The hand from the hand the sand of the bottom of hell is a magical sand.
He does need to convert first, though. His weights are quickly getting eaten up by Wallaby and Cheese here. And having the 5 be the Dora indicator isn't helping the hand either.
Wallaby is definitely being given temptations. He is being given a lot of temptations to drop this 8 so. And
Could come out now.
You just kind of have to hope that it doesn't come out if you're going for Wallaby here. Seems like Wallaby's just not keen on cutting it, actually. I think the real temptation tile is what, a 4-pin?
4-pin would definitely be a very nice tile.
Oh, well, nice in the sense that it might force out the tile, but it's one of those, like, you know, do you have enough to make it to the end? Do you push one Suji? You know, what's your poison here? No, okay. Seems like he's just out of it.
Discipline.
Disciplined, very disciplined, especially with your lead at this point. Oh, okay. Yes, and then he cut it on time so that it's not. Very nice.
Good discipline.
Very good. Is there a universe where this 8 so come? I'm still trying to think about it. I don't. Here, okay. So Wallaby has enough tiles to fold. So, it would have to be like a decided push tempai for for Mikrichi here, 4-7 pin for Pinfu Dora-san. It's why are the hands so disgusting right now?
What happened?
I was saying it out loud. I'm like, wait, okay, let's get the 8 so Sumo. Nice Takame. 2 Uro would make it a Baimon. Wait, is it already a Baimon? Reach Sumo Pinfu Peiko. It's already a Baimon. Alright, it can't go any higher. So nice Baimon Sumo for ZY. Moves us to South 4. So we had like a Dama Mangon on our left. A Baimon Sumo here. Jesus.
Yeah, so second is now well within ZY's reach here. First place is probably not happening, so you're definitely going to be looking to make use of this Dora Dora to get themselves into second place. Cheese, I'm not exactly sure what Cheese will have to do here.
Suanko?
Oh, yeah, Suanko is a line, but that does that even get him to like third?
No. Oh, does it? -8, 32. No, it doesn't. I think you end up on 18k as Cheese, and ZY ends up being on 20k. So it's Suanko Sumo.
If it's a direct hit.
Oh, right, yeah. If it's like a
Suanko Tunky direct.
Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking about the Sumo.
Like Sanonko direct hit with like 10 Urodora.
Senpai here for MCR Ichi, 6-9 man. Pretty nice hand just to secure another dealership if they
God,
match.
can this comedy get any better?
ZY, 3 quick calls, Tenpai 6-pin, 3 of them. Oh boy, okay, there we go. That's a normal ending to a normal hand. Out for 1 Honda.
I'm so
Second
sorry.
place still within reach of ZY here. Just the goalposts are a little bit tighter now.
I'm so sorry for laughing. Like everything about the last 50 minutes has been some sort of pre-written Greek tragedy. I've just been having a lot of fun. Alright, new round. Dora's the 5-man. What do we have around here? Very nice starting shape for MCR Ichi. 9-pin Anko for 5-man, 3-4-man. Draws the Penchan to get a Roundman Tenpai.
That's something.
Mola,
Takame Dora here.
Mola, what's going on here?
This is how we train the boys in New South Wales.
I
see.
see. Oh my god. The really interesting thing is now Wallaby's first place is in contention. Like, if you can sumo this hand, even without any Uradora, if you sumo the Dora side, reached sumo Dora is already with the 9-pin anchor.
Oh, you've got the Ucker in there as well, so it's a
Alright,
Mungan, my
yeah.
dude.
Oh, actually, no, 9-pin anchor doesn't do enough. But, you know, if you can get the 5-man sumo, it's a 4,000 all, and that's all of a sudden Wallaby is not in a very safe position.
A 5-man actually looks very vulnerable in ZY's hand here, but I don't expect him to cut it.
I don't expect him to cut it. I'd be so doubtful if he cut it. Oh god,
Question
he's
mark
being tempted.
Question mark things.
He's being tempted. We've had a lot of trials. Like, you guys know Ulysses.
Yeah. All right, go on.
Or,
Go on.
or like, you know, when they're sailing through different parts, and you go through the sirens, right? And you get the sirens calls. Like, we're
Yeah.
definitely getting the sirens calls right now. We've had a lot of cases where they have like an isolated, very nice shapes everywhere, and an isolated like deal-in tile, and they have to decide if they want to heed the sirens call or not.
Push, you wouldn't. Chicken.
Oh god. 3
There's a
Dora
third
for
fight
cheese. Tenpai 6-9 man. 6-9. Wait, no, not Tenpai. Ishanten. Fairly nice. Ishanten does decide to go headless. However, if he draws a 1-4 pin or a 6-9, so will they cut the 5-man? Oh god.
Oh no.
Oh god. Oh, they. Oh
Oh
god.
no.
Ah,
This really is a tragedy for
this
cheese.
is such.
Clean up on aisle 7.
So it's a lot harder now for ZY to make a comeback. He needs Mungan Sumo.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you're within Mongon Sumo range, you're probably not feeling horrible in terms of Gyaktening whoever is in second place, if they're a dealer. Not feeling good, of course. Like, a Mongon Sumo isn't ever particularly nice, but just not feeling horrible.
How horrible does a 28,000 third place feel?
Not as horrible as a minus 23,000.
So there's a
Jesus,
Honitsu line here.
Vincent.
FCR.
Yes, you are right about that, and it will be offered it on the 6-man cut. Does not choose to take it, so probably normalizing to wants to get a more normal hand rather than having to cut the 8-9 so or the ice-led 4 so or something like that.
Definitely. You know, with the correct draws, they could randomly just, you know, tenpai into a Itsu as well. Meanwhile, you know, Wallaby, I've had enough of this. It's time to end it. Comes the Chun, Ishan 10 Rankan now, rather tenpai now, 2-man 9 so. So that 9 so now looks pretty iffy in
3 Haku
MCRH.
drops. Sorry, keep going.
Oh yeah, it is 3 Haku drops. Oh, the despair. Now that 8-9 so now looks very vulnerable in MCR Richi's hand. Keeps getting offered the mums.
Oh god.
It's over.
It's over.
We don't know when it's over, but it's over. He's gonna tenpai on like the 2-man or something. And
Okay, no, there is one bailout. There is one commercial bond bailout here. Okay, never mind.
Nice.
It was if
So-
Wallaby draws the 3-man, then he chooses a 1-4-man way, but unfortunately not. So that does end this Greek tragedy of a Hanchan. We have Wallaby in first place, McRitchie in second, ZY in third, and Cheese in last place. Do we have Wallaby for an interview?
Calling him up now. That was quite a game.
No.
That was a
It was a
massive.
perfect game for some Schadenfreude.
That is yeah. I have some intense Schadenfreude from that. Like I enjoyed it a bit too much. If I'm not gonna lie. All right, Mola, do you have any hands you wanted to point to in this? You wanted to talk to your good New South Wales friend here.
What?
Congratulations, Wallaby.
Thank you.
That was I'll be honest, that was a better showing than I
Nothing.
expected from you. You were impressed.
Totally lost it.
All right. Mola, you see the hands being offered. What is there anything you wanted to talk about in this ridiculous?
I forget which round it was, but there was one towards the end where he was folding against. I think it was ZY's reach.
Yes, this one.
It's,
No, it was a by Monsumo. Sorry, this one. Yeah.
Eat.
Do you want me to just go through it slowly?
maybe let's. Oh wait, yeah. No, this is right. Yeah, I'm just surprised you had this much discipline to actually fold against this. I thought you would have pushed.
Yeah. Normally I would have YOLO throwed, but we're so high, it doesn't even matter if I win or not, so who cares? YOLO.
Wait, isn't this the opposite of YOLO?
Yeah, YOLO, like opposite of YOLO. Like
It's the conservative interpretation, like YOLO, so let's not waste it.
well, yeah,
Very good.
just we're so high. I was so high in points. Who cares?
But you could
But
also have taken the opposite approach instead, because we've got so many points. It doesn't hurt even if I deal in.
Yeah, that's true, but I don't know. There's nothing around eight of swords, so I said it's probably not gonna do that. So discipline.
Very nice, very nice.
Oh
Yeah.
my god! Don't look at my 3-10-3 chat. You know why
I do remember this. I remember it was. Wait, wasn't it your dealership?
Yeah, it was. You know why? Because I was looking at the stream while playing the game, so I didn't even realize I was in freestyle until.
Eat.
Hold on, looking at the stream while playing, is that legal?
I mean, it's
Oh,
not
it's
illegal. There's a
delayed.
5-minute delay, so there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. So I was just listening to the criticisms while playing the mahjong I currently have. So yeah, I didn't see I was in free. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. Won. Woo!
It did
That-
end
that-
up working out for you. You did end up getting the win.
Yeah.
Pushed the live Dora against the reach.
Yeah, that was.
Like I said, I wasn't thinking so straight then, so that was a really bad move. But the thing, you know what? I actually won this round because I was super lucky with the what's it called? I don't even know what's it called.
It's like a Nanhonetsu, I think it was.
The Dora.
Oh yeah. I remember this. It's right here. I intensely remember this because you draw the
No, not
Tuso
this one.
right here.
Not this one. The one
Oh.
before.
Oh, the one before. Oh, sorry.
This one.
No, the one where he won on the huts.
Oh.
Yeah, I got super lucky here, and I got super lucky the hands after. So I have to say, I won this round all because of luck.
What?
Well, it is luck. It is luck.
For this round, I think you drew 6-man in a few turns.
Yeah.
And you decided to keep the huts chunky.
Yeah.
Even though, from your point of view, 6-9-man has one more tile available to win.
Well, the thing is, there's already 3 9s out, and if I own a 6, there's a 6 over there. It's kind of hard for the other 6 to. I think it's rare, but people will always throw the green. So, gonna wait on the green. I mean,
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that. I completely
yeah.
agree with waiting for the Hatsu.
unless it's
Yeah.
unless it's
I
like,
think a one discarded on a tile actually has one of the highest win rates.
Definitely in
Even
the early
higher
to
than
mid game,
alive
right?
on a tile.
Yeah, sorry, I'm interrupting you. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, on your point. Yeah, I think like in the early to mid game, one cut on a Tunky is like one of the best weights you can have.
Yeah. So good, worked out.
This
I loved it. I'm so happy about that.
All right. Congratulations on your win. Hopefully we'll see you
Thank
next time.
you. All right. See ya.
Congratulations.
All right. That does conclude our Hanchans for the day. I think we will cut back to the standings before we head off. So
They are updated.
yes. So we do have Flame Curse Evil Eye in first, AUNSW Wanderers in second, Tile Dreaming in third, Trombonomi in fourth, Zomoni Triteridus in fifth, The Last Weiss plays in sixth, Doris for Losers in seventh, Notice Me Tenpai in eighth, the Powerpuff Boys in ninth, and Khan for Fun in 10th place. So that does conclude our day. We want to thank again Muller for joining us. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to commentate with us.
Pleasure.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll see you guys next week. Next week we will be on March Soul, and I will not be on the commentary desk because I need to make up for my game. So I will be playing like 4 Hanchans.
Oh no, what do I ever do without you?
You won't just have someone laughing at other people's misery.
It sounds so sorrowful.
With that note, thank you guys so much for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you next week. All right, until then,
Thank you.
goodbye.